Thanks for joining us for another exciting episode of Film Reels, where we're going to be interviewing local actor and graphic designer Dale Mitchell. And, you know, we've been filming here at WYOU for a while now, and I'm kind of curious, what do you think's behind the curtain back here?
Dr. Fisher, Tanner Green, Tri-State Pharmaceuticals. So, can we count on you to carry our product?
As I told you before, Mr. Green, this clinic doesn't carry drugs that aren't FDA approved. I'm sorry.
Hang on. Hear me out.
Mr. Green, there's nothing you can do or say that will make me carry this drug.
Oh, I disagree.
Oh, really? And why is that?
Watch and learn.
So that was a scene from Bad Rep, and we have here today Dale Mitchell. How's it going?
It's going super well. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you here today. So let's get down to brass tacks. Where were you born?
Whoa, that could, Indiana, unfortunately.
Indiana.
No offense to anybody.
Was it fun growing up there?
I didn't grow up there. I was kind of like hatched there,
Hatched
and then it's been a grand journey through foster care and adoption and everything. Finally got adopted here in
Right here in Madison, Wisconsin?
Middleton.
Middleton.
Right next door, yeah.
Even better.
But then I spent like I guess my formative years in Middleton, and then the important stuff in Madison, you know, the young, wild partying days and all that.
Awesome. So were you involved with any kind of extracurricular activities growing up? You said you started filming when you were like 7? Or you started acting when you were 7?
Yeah, acting. Well, actually, we did do a little filming too. Had the old Super 8 out. And
Yeah.
you do the classic stuffing clothes, you know, whatever, and doing that, I'm Superman! And then somebody behind the chimney throws him and he lands,
Yeah.
and I get up, go,
Yep.
you know, that number there. So I did start filming at an early age, but nothing important.
Nothing important?
Nothing important.
It's all important.
Did a lot of local theater and high school theater, community theater programs, that sort of thing. A lot of the classic musicals. There's a whole lot of Rodgers and Hammerstein in my life, that sort of thing.
I love it.
But yeah, a lot of musical theater, which I really enjoyed too.
Was there any particular production that you loved doing?
Oh, goodness. Well, you know, it is a high school production, but Middleton High School is known for really quality theater and music production. So I got a shout out to them. That's a beautiful thing. They kind of
Props.
grew me, yes. But West Side Story, probably.
West Side Story?
Yeah, I played action.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
So where did you go to high school?
Middleton High School.
Middleton High School?
Middleton.
Okay.
In Middleton, Wisconsin.
In Middleton,
Cardinals. Go Cardinals.
So let's see. Did you? And then you went to college.
I did. Actually, I went to, I had a brief and painful stint at Edgewood College. I just wasn't ready. You know, the whole thing where you go to school because you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then you
yeah,
realize
I totally can relate to that.
So I actually went there to major in theater and minor in psych. But yeah, after about a year of being there and playing in a local band and just like kind of being where I thought I was at the time, I kind of left school for a while. Yeah.
What was your band that you were in?
They were a band called ETC. I don't know how many people will remember that, but yeah, we were, you know, a typical 80s cover band, but then we grew and developed. We had some original stuff and really, really amazing people, talented people.
Yeah?
And, yeah.
Do they still perform in some version?
Some of them are out in New York and have their own bands, which is really cool, and, and they're, you know, doing their thing, and that's awesome. They've actually put out CDs, I believe. And then locally, there's a gentleman who drums. That was the drummer in the band. He kicks some major ass, and he's playing in a couple of bands, I believe. He plays often too. So
awesome.
So they're still enjoying it. I'm pretty much the only one that isn't doing anything anymore. So
Wait,
you know,
not music wise.
Hey, all right, no.
High five to that.
No. But yeah, so.
Awesome. So. What did you do after Edgewood? Did you start editing more?
No, I pretty much concentrated on the band for a while and sowed my wild fermented oats and got kind of lost in the world. And then saw a commercial that told me I could be all I could be, and I joined the military.
Yeah?
Combat medic, yep. Gulf, Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did you do that for?
Close to 8 years.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did you do any like productions for the team?
Nope. Didn't take any for the team. I played a little sports and stuff like that, but nah. Just basically karaoke wherever and whenever. That was the extent of my artistic expression out there. Oh, and dancing at the clubs.
Oh yeah.
Get right at the ground floor of the East Coast rave scene too. So that was awesome.
I love it. So what did you do when you got back?
When I got back, well, when I got back to the world, basically was kind of lost. Didn't really know what direction I was going. Worked in retail for a while, and then I decided, I always did well with art, so I came back to Madison and I started with graphic design. Got my graphic design degree. Worked in that field for a while. Got laid off a couple of times because of the economy.
Yeah.
But in between, an opportunity came up, and I actually did a show out at the Dorff House.
Okay.
Out in, is it Roxbury? Yeah, Roxbury.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a very kitschy, vaudevillian kind of thing. A lot of pratfalls, but it was fun.
Yeah?
It was like a Abbott and Costello kind of atmosphere. There were two of us, and we played these thieves that were bumbling and all that good stuff. So that was good times. And I had to dress and play two characters because I had to also dress and present myself as a nun.
Oh.
So yes. Yes, indeed. It was a show called Lie, Cheat, and Genuflect. What? Yes, exactly. It's actually quite funny if you can just get yourself in that mindset. It's old school.
Yeah, awesome.
And then after that, I tried my hand at it again. Did a production at now Madison College, Barefoot in the Park, where I played Victor Velasco, which was fun. A lot of fun. Yeah.
So this was in the Mitby Theater.
Actually, it was in the studio theater upstairs.
Okay.
Because it just didn't require that big a space, and the set was wonderful, and we made it. Yeah, it was a more intimate setting, but it was a lot of fun. And then I did a few. I took some of the playwriting classes, and ended up with helping people out by acting in their student 1 minute, 10-minute plays, that sort of thing. Kissed my first man in one of them. That was good. There was a little man love action happening. I mean, yeah, I've done a lot of really quirky, fun things.
Yeah.
That kind of got my acting juices going again. I hope I didn't get any on here.
A little bit.
But yeah.
We can clean up later. We'll fix it in post. So.
Yes. Of course.
So you say you were at MATC, and you work for MATC right now.
Right. Yeah. Well, I came back because of the layoffs and to go into the Vicon program. And of course, the task was then, how do I make school work and having a family now and everything and still pay the bills? So I approached my former, I'd worked there when I was in graphic design, and they said, well, hey, you know what, I'd really like to poach you to do media design, do stuff with film and audio and all that good stuff, especially motion graphics and flash animation. And so I said, yeah, I'd love to, because it was one of those things where they said, hey, we can teach you the software, but we can't teach you to be a designer, and you're a designer, so come on board.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
And they've paid the bills and been very good to me.
Good.
The department has kind of been split up a little bit now, so we're kind of like trying to find our place, but still working there.
Awesome, awesome. So what was your first production that you worked on?
First full-fledged production would be probably 24.
24?
The 24-hour Bad Rep.
Yeah.
So no, 24. I worked very closely with Kiefer Sutherland. But no, let Jack Bauer this. Yeah. He's now a verb, so
yeah.
But no, yeah, it would have been that.
It would have been that. No.
Just like going through the whole paces, because I actually got my first PA and all kinds of good stuff. I did some storyboarding for it because we had a scene where a location didn't work out.
Yeah.
So while they were filming something, I was like, well, what can we do? What can we do? So I just got something, and it worked. So I got to do a lot of things and get my hands on a lot of stuff and just work hard the whole weekend, and that was fun.
I like it.
That was so much fun.
So how did you initially hear about it? Like, what drew you to it?
The 24-hour?
Yeah.
That would have been an instructor at MATC. I'm sorry, Madison College.
Yep.
Emily Pearson actually mentioned to me that one of the other students, which would be Greg Cooper,
Yeah.
was doing this and got me in touch with him. And then after we talked for a bit, boom, took off. I told, he said, what are you looking to do? And I said, well, if it's not too much trouble, I'd love to act. But I also do motion graphics. So, hey, I can hook you up on that end too.
Awesome. So you did, you got involved with Top Hat Balloon after that?
Well, no. Max actually was a fellow student, Max Olmsted, who was just an amazing guy, creative spirit. He's really awesome, and he knows his stuff.
Okay.
So he was doing what ostensibly started out as a student project, and
Okay.
it became much more. He really refined it, and he asked me to play a role that he thought was perfect for me. So I did, and it was very enjoyable.
The journey leading up to my becoming a man has been a long, drawn-out process. Just last week, I reached the summit of my pituitary release, in that my voice dropped about an octave, and I began menstruating like a woman.
What?
Got to run over somebody with a car,
Yes.
and menstruate, and all kinds of other things.
As one does during your production.
Yes, exactly. It's all the stress.
Yeah.
Changed my cycle. But
I like it. Now you did some of the visual effects for Bad Rep, right?
yes, I did the title sequence, which was a lot of fun. It was a combination of digital and analog, because I had all the effects were actually created in the real world with an actual dropper and water and turning cameras and lighting and all kinds of stuff. And then I took it into After Effects and added the actual typography. So and then I did the end credits as well.
Awesome. Did you enjoy doing visual effects?
Oh, I enjoyed it immensely. I have actually done some work for the Girl Scouts. I did their 100th anniversary celebration, and I did the whole filmed and did the animation and everything. And it's something that is kind of near and dear to me.
Nice. So you also are in Life After Death?
Yes, I play a dirty old preacher. It's true. I'm just yeah.
So what drew you to that?
Kevin Croak.
Okay.
Who gets
The
a lot of people.
Croakster.
Yes. Well, what an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually gave me a lot of confidence. I initially auditioned for the Tale of Two Jokers.
Yeah.
And that's how, and I got a part in that. But that's how I met Kevin Croak, and I was initially kind of intimidated because he's very, he's a presence.
Yeah.
But he had wonderful things to say, and very complimentary and very supportive, and so I kind of got a second wind in acting there, and I want to thank him for that.
Yeah.
But he called me up, and he had wanted me to do like one of the mobs, like be a part of the gang or whatever, the mobsters for the mayor. But I couldn't commit to the weekend, so he said, well, I might have something else. He mentioned the preacher part. He said it'll be a smaller role, but I was like, okay, hey, anything. I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be nominated. You know?
Exactly.
So and when we got there, unfortunately, I guess there was some mixed message or whatever, but apparently they'd written the preacher out, or it was no longer part of the. So no, and everybody was like, I'm not sure what you can hang out by the bar, the bikers, the hookers, So I dirtied myself up, covered myself up in dust, came dressed for the part, and I just kind of wandered around trying to figure out what would I be if I were, what's your mindset if you're a man of faith and there's nothing, really left in the world, and you're kind of looking around at smoking ashes and saying, wasn't I supposed to be taken up in the rapture here? I'm still here. So, and where do you turn then? And it's more earthly things. And so I ended up through that, developed my own character, interaction, stuff like that, and then eventually talked them into letting them do my first semi-nude scene, which was awesome. Good times, yeah. Ran from the, can I say the name of the place?
Totally.
Pussy Palace.
Yeah.
There, I said it. I was in with a prostitute. My character was, not me personally. And sorry, honey. The wife's here. But so I ran out, and there's a gunfight going on, and basically I run with my pants down and dive, and it's one of those kind of things.
Yeah. And then from there, they were like, we got to write more scenes for you. We got to put you in more stuff.
No.
I like to think that's what I would said.
Pale white winter flesh, I think, is what did it for them. They'd seen entirely too much of me already, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah.
Awesome. So do you got anything else that you got in the process, or anything you're looking forward to?
There's something that's been way long in the process, and I'm really trying to get it together. But I made the mistake. I started out And once again, part of a class project, but something that I really wanted to do outside of it was a kind of a documentary on homelessness in Madison, and kind of was working with the Salvation Army and trying to put that together. But what I didn't realize is what a commitment that is. I'm thinking, you know, okay, low budget documentary, what do I need to do? I can borrow equipment from MATC because it's a student project. But one person can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
And I got bogged down, and then between school and work and schedules, and then, you know, life, you know, for us, you know, we can schedule things, but if you're homeless and, you know, you don't necessarily have a schedule, life happens.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
also kind of, you can't you can't force things. You can't make them happen. You can't make people want to talk to you. There were a lot of wonderful people who wanted to talk to me, just not with the camera on.
Yeah, yeah.
So it kind of like everything you know, this is what you do with storyboards when you're doing that, apparently. And this is the learning process. This is why I'm going to school.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So now it's about how do I reboot it? How do I make it happen? How do I use the footage I have currently? What's the new story?
Yeah.
Because it's changed dramatically. And there are a lot of things in the community that have changed dramatically that impact the homeless. So how do I tell that story and, you know,
integrate the
so
two.
yeah, so I'm in the process of a reboot now. So
interesting. Well, man, keep me up to date on that. That
I will.
sounds really, really awesome.
I will.
And very noble. I like that.
Well, thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us here today, Dale. It's been exciting, and this has been an exciting episode of Film Reels.
This is the part where you want me to drop my pants and
dive into the corner. Awesome. Take care, America. Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
So far, mostly, the guest just sits there as I say, like, this is who's going to be on the show.
And maybe I'll be naked.